Hello, hope you're having a good day. I'm TR Rose from Meow About Cosplay. I love to make plushies and stuffed animals, and I'm always looking for new sources for material that I can use to make these plushies. For example, I just finished up Temmie here from Undertale, and she's mostly made out of minky fabric. Her body, her hair, and her little sweater are all made from minky, but her doggy ears and her little tail are made from a slightly longer pile fabric, so they have a nice fluffy soft effect. So as such, I'm always looking for sources where I can get new types of fabric that I can try, to either combine with my existing stash, or to maybe be inspired to make something entirely new. Recently, I ordered a Minky Scraps box from BigZFabric, who carries minky and mochi fabric. And if you don't know what mochi fabric is, it's kind of what a squishmallow is made out of. It's very stretchy, and it's not so fluffy as a minky, but it is still very soft. Their Scraps box promised to send you things like ends of bolts, offcuts, slightly damaged pieces, but it's kind of a grab bag surprise, so you're not sure what you're going to get. I saw these on the website and decided to take a chance, and I figured I would show you what I got in the box in case you were planning this purchase for yourself. I paid $30 for the box. Shipping was a little high, but considering the size and weight of this box, I'm not surprised. There is a ton of material in here, and I'm going to show you what I got in this box so you can decide if this is a good purchase for you. The top piece in my box is a piece of golden yellow mochi fabric. It's very long, and the width on that is about a yard. The only issue with this, I don't know if you can even see this, but along the center there's some spots that are slightly off colored. There's like a big spot there, and there's a spot over here that I would have to be careful when I lay out my fabric to make sure that I don't accidentally get that on my project. But there's a lot of usable fabric here that I can cut around. I'm probably going to use this for a superstar plush. This is a mochi, so it would be super stretchy and kind of like a squishmallow. Next in the box is another piece of mochi. It's sort of this coral pink color. I see this is much thinner, but it's also got some dirty spots on it that go through to the back. Again, definitely usable pieces here. The whole thing doesn't have dirty spots on it, but they are throughout, so I'll just have to be careful when I cut that out. Next is some royal purple mochi fabric. It's a narrower piece. This is probably the end of a bolt, but it looks really nice. It's got some wrinkles in it, so I'll have to try to iron those out. Otherwise, this fabric looks like it's in really good shape. Here is another piece of mochi fabric. It's that same coral pink color. It's much skinnier, but I don't really see any damage on this piece. Again, it's a little bit wrinkly, but there's no damage to it. Kind of a skinny piece there. Next up is a piece of minky fabric. This is not mochi, this is minky. It's sort of a beige brown color. Looks like a good base. It could work as a skin tone. It could work as like a khaki color. This is a huge piece of mint colored mochi. It's really big. There's at least a yard here, maybe more. But this has a big weird damagey spot on it. It looks like cardboard, maybe some sort of a tape that was used to hold this onto a roll. This part is completely unusable. It's very wrinkled and creased. It's got this kind of cardboard tape stuff. It's completely stuck. That's not coming off, so I definitely can't use all of this. But I have all of this that I can use. So as long as you're judicious with your cutting, I can get a lot of things out of that. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with all this mint mochi, but maybe I can make a dragon, maybe I can make a fantastical animal, or just something cute. Next, we've got a skinny piece, so probably about 11 inches wide, of blush pink mochi. Very stretchy, as you can see. A little bit stretchy that direction. Very stretchy this direction. So that's a nice baby pink color. It might make a good Mew if I need to have more Mew in my collection. I've already got a lot, but it's one of my things I collect, so I might make more Mew. This is another shade of pink, sort of a dusty pink. It's got like a big chunk out of that side. Looks like somebody got hungry and took a bite. I don't know. But it's a really good piece of fabric other than that chunk. I could see why they couldn't sell this as yardage, but all of this is great. Looks like another chunk on this side too. But again, if you're careful with how you lay out your pieces, you can get some good results. Here's more pink. This is more of a purpley pink instead of a coral pink. It's another skinny piece, but when you're making stuffed animals, especially things with clothes, you don't need really large pieces of minky to get a really good result. For example, when I just made Temmie recently, I needed tiny little stripes of yellow minky. It couldn't have been more than like a foot by a foot square to get all that out of there, but I had to have that in my stash. So having small pieces of minky in your stash is never a bad thing. Here we've got some more purple. This is a skinny piece of regular minky, not mochi. There's a pretty big spot here on the backing, but I'm not sure if that's even showing through to the front. It's a little wrinkly, but the fabric doesn't look damaged. This looks pretty good. Next, I've got this piece here that's like an electric green. It's a mochi, but it too has that cardboard tape stuff down it. It's all wrinkled up here. There's dirt. I'm not sure how much usable material I can get out of this piece. Maybe if I'm very careful, I can get part of a piece over here, but then it's got like this big wrinkle. This is unusable. But over here, this is maybe a decent spot, maybe for a very small accessory, maybe for something like dragon crest, like the little fins around the face, maybe some very small accessories. But this piece is probably the least useful piece out of the whole box. But considering already I've got a whole lot of good usable fabric, that would be fine if this was it. But we've still got more than half a box to go. So let me show you what else there is. This is neither minky nor mochi. This is like a very fluffy kind of fabric. It seems to have a bit of a furry texture to it. It's like a navy blue. This looks like it's similar to what I used for Corinne's tails, kind of a tie-dye look to that. But this is a solid navy blue. Wow, it's big. And I can already tell pulling this out of the box, it's throwing little fibers everywhere. This stuff sheds. So definitely make sure that you've got a sticky lint roller on hand to clean up your workspace, because this will get fur everywhere. But it's wonderfully soft. It's really nice. A couple years ago, I made my mom and I scarves out of a fabric like this that was like a cream colored with gold. Really soft and fluffy. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this yet, but this will definitely have a good use somewhere. Next, we've got a nice light gray minky. And it's got some wrinkles to it, but the fabric looks pretty good. I don't see any damage. Oh, actually I do. This is weird. I thought it was just a highlight from the light, but it's got this weird like bleachy spot on the side that goes through to the back. I don't know if it was a problem with dyeing the fabric or if it was just a problem when it was manufactured. But aside from this kind of strange white splorch, everything else looks pretty good. It only goes through that one spot. Okay, more pink. More pink. Kind of a violet pink here. Big piece. This is another standard minky, not a mochi, but really big piece of this, which is interesting. There's no damage at all that I can tell. Aside from shedding from other fabrics on here, this looks perfectly fine. More gray. Really, really big piece of gray. Really. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of fabric here. So it's plain minky, but it looks really nice and it's a very big piece. Oh, we got another fluffy. This is like a baby pink fluffy. There's a nice big chunk there. Not seeing any damage to the material. Really soft. I'm not entirely sure what I want to make from this. Again, maybe a Mew. I have a lot of Mew, but I don't have a super fluffy Mew. Or like a little pink sheep. I don't know. But this is really nice and soft. This is definitely one of the more expensive types of fabric too that the company offers. The standard minky is probably the least expensive, then the mochi, and then when you get into the nice long pile stuff like this is where you're gonna pay more. Here we have some blush pink mochi. This is nice to use as skin tones for human style plushies. There's not a whole lot of fabric out there that matches pale skin tones. There's lots of beautiful browns and caramel colors. You're not gonna find a lot of pale colors, Caucasian skin tones, unless you go for actual white or ivory. So this company does offer some skin tone colors that I think are really nice and will be it's a great addition to your minky stash if you make human characters. More pink. I got a very pink surprise box here. Maybe it makes some good Valentine stuff, I'm not sure. Very stretchy. Oh, but we've got another piece of that tape in the middle. So we definitely have a chunk here we can't use, but below it there's some really good usable material. So this isn't gonna be too much of a problem. I can cut this off and not really struggle with losing too much of the fabric here. We've got a very pale purple mochi here. That's a nice width to that. Not seeing any damage, nice and stretchy. Here we've got another piece of the same, but this has some nastiness through it. It's got that ugly tape, it's got some stuff on the edge. But some of this is still workable. If I cut that about here, I would still have that much left over, kind of like a fat quarter. So not all perfect fabric, but that's about what I expected. In fact, I'm surprised I got so much good fabric out of this box. I was expecting more damaged pieces. Next, we've got a good piece of plain white minky. Not long enough for your, oh, we've got a hole. So this part has to be cut off, but it's only on the end. That's not that much of a problem. Nice big piece there. This is a nice soft piece of minky fabric. It's sort of a navy blue. It would match that really fluffy stuff we have much lower in the pile. So if we wanted to do some sort of a midnight blue kind of tone-on-tone creature, we could do that. This looks pretty good. More gray. There's a lot of gray in this box. Oh, this has like a big chunk taken out of the side. Can see why this is left over. But aside from that, all of this is good. Oh, I don't know if you can see on the video, but there is a ton of little fiber flying around here. More gray. So much gray. Nice big piece there. That's also plain minky. This is an unusual color. This is nice. This is sort of a foresty kind of green. Less stretchy than some of the other ones. Kind of a smaller pile. It's very pretty. This is another plain minky fabric. It looks like it's got a little bit of damage here, like some folds. But I wonder if we can get that out with ironing. If not, maybe just use some of the parts of it without the folds. Okay, we've got some royal purple here. Minky fabric. Looks like there's some tape on the back over here, but it's like a clear tape. I wonder if we can get that off. That's pretty nice. One more piece. It is a royal purple, but it is really, really soft. This is a long pile fur, kind of like what I used for Timmy I showed in the video earlier, except this is much longer. This is really luxuriant fur. It's heavy fur. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'm not making like a super fluffy grimace, but it's kind of the right color. But this is really nice. This might make a nice trim on something. I have no idea. But as you can see, I think I have more than gotten my money's worth for my $30 box of scrap fabric. It would have been nice to have a wider variety of colors. There's an awful lot of gray, there's an awful lot of pink, but I feel like I got a great amount of fabric for the amount of money I paid. So if you are an experienced plush maker, if you're looking to get into some new materials, if you want to try some things and you're not really sure what, the Minky Scraps box from BigZFabric I think is a great way to get a surprise assortment of fabric. Plus it kind of scratches the itch for the random surprise element of an unboxing. So I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you want to see more plush making videos, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, hope you enjoyed today's video. See you next time.